This season, the Wrap and Weft offer grows so much. It represents 19% of the global collection considering the color references. In this presentation, you will find a big variety of items with a strong appeal and fashionable inspiration. The type of material are grouped in three main different product categories, with the fluid and feminine inspiration with a more 70s and graphic mood. Then we're gonna have a wintry and city offer with a tailoring style British Italian twist. And with the technical material, I will bring you to Berlin for a techno parade. Let's start with the fluid and feminine offer with the first material that you know very well because it's the carryover material buck, but for this season we work in a completely restyle in terms of pattern. The material, as you know, is 100% viscose, very premium with a quite thick drop. And as I told you, we developed two different main jacquard pattern, which is taking inspiration from the 70s wallpaper for a more groovy and fashionable and feminine twist with this kind of silhouette and color that you can find in Austin Powers movie. For the first look here, you're gonna have a set inspiration offer, really ready to wear with our top and very easy to wear pants. And then you have several different dresses, very feminine, with some of them, like Alicia wearing with a more t-shirt preppy style spirit, and something very commercial, wear by Charlotte with our spaghetti stripes dress. The second fluid and feminine, and the last actually, fluid and feminine material is the shan. The shan is still a 100% viscose offer, quite solid in the drop, but at the same time very fluid. It's a very interesting material because it's your direct substitution of the jean and is your only 100% printed offer version of the season. It's gonna be presented in different prints. We are still in the 70s mood, but more in an EP style inspiration with this kind of flower power mood. In terms of style, you have two different total look where here with the same shape of trousers, but in the first version, where by Vero, we have a very, let's say, easy, comfortable top. And in the second one, we're gonna have a very commercial shirt. In terms of style, what is really interesting for this fluid material is the fact that we are trying to play this feminine mood with something more trendy and sportswear with this kind of jersey detail for a signature product collection. Very visible, it will be, thank you girls, in the second offer of look, same material, with this very specific dress worn by Charlotte with a very easy trapeze line with a strong sportswear details thanks to the zippet and again the jersey collar. Now we are moving in a more ready-to-wear, as I told you before in the introduction, city offer with more Italian style and British style, starting with something more first degree in terms of wintry, and it's our new material which is called the yen. The yen is our crinkle material effect, which is very similar to the Oyo, but in a more wintry inspiration. In terms of look, as you can see in the sets worn by Alicia, we're trying to propose two different styles, very commercial, which are remind the Pado shapes. It's very interesting material, really premium, because of course it's an Italian fabric, with a double face material. This is gonna be very premium and visual with this kind of crinkle effect. Now we go really in our Italian vibes suit offer, more masculine in terms of inspiration, and we confirm our 100% virgin wool material, the tab. This is really our classic coat material, really summery, really fresh, entry seasonal. And for the season, we try to develop two different styles of costume. In the first one, worn by Manon, we have a very easy shape, relaxed, with the straight jackets and straight pants. We develop a very strong color in carrot, which is still related to the 70s inspiration. The big novelties of the season in terms of style is the jacket worn by Vero, really Italian, really masculine with the double breast, and the carrot pants. In this case, we propose in a more classic color gray. Then, still in the Italian tailoring aspect, we want to introduce you a new version of the WEF. WEF, of course, you know, is our more wintry, classic material. We carry over the warm total look in the straight jacket and the skinny pants, and we create a new style of jacket, really strong crush with this kind of interesting style, very unique, which is a mix between a teddy jacket, a bomber, and a blazer with very visual patch pockets in the front. You see the silhouette is quite unstructured, very loose, very feminine, but just take in mind that you're not gonna have this kind of details in the final version in the shop. Then, this season, we're trying to create some more trendy, inspirational fabric that take the atmosphere for a more British, Scottish universe. Starting by the Nun, we're gonna present you several products in this kind of inspiration. The Nun basically is still a costume idea, but as I told you, more in something specific with this kind of tweed effect. In the first look, where by Charlotte, we proposed the total look in suit with this kind of woolish effect, lining inside, with a very interesting volume for the jacket, which is quite commercial and oversized. To emphasize the vintage twist, we insert the shoulder patch. And the trousers are quite easy to wear, it's a kind of straight carrot pants. Then we have to give a more complete offer and something more specific and more interesting for our customer, a very vintage coat with oversized shape worn by Alicia. To continue with the British mood, I will show you now a very light, pure, and entry-seasonal coat, which is taking inspiration from London and the Sherlock Holmes spirit, very masculine. Here the check is really slow and really small, and as I told you, the drop or the volume of this coat with a very strong trench pure spirit, it's really easy to wear. To complete and to give you the opportunity to increase the UPT and to work in total look, we present a chinos straight pants. Now, we're gonna show you, basically, we are really in the coat offer, and I will show you a first range of material which is gonna compare to another one for a more complementary idea of cut. So in the coat, basically, we're trying to play in some style that are offering the same volume to the customer to satisfy different needs. The two coats that I will show you are called the Geo here and then the Roll. Starting by the Geo, we have a kind of very Scottish inspiration. Here the inspiration is really emblematic and really strong. This kind of pattern is actually really the British blanket, the wild atmosphere, the Yorkshire, the mountain are very strong thanks to this kind of warm brush wool effect. And in terms of offer, the coat is quite warm and quite lightful at the same time. Very interesting and very unique is the check effect, which have this kind of faded color. It looks like a water color atmosphere. In terms of look, you have a long coat and a sleeveless jacket, thank you, which are gonna be available, these two styles, even in this kind of material that I will introduce now, which is the Roll. The Roll is the same idea in terms of shades, but a more premium and qualitative offer. Is really our high range material, very wintry because it's 100% wool, and we work the tissue actually is worked in a melange effect, really sophisticated and retro with two different yarn color. The style that Alicia is wearing actually is the third style of this complementary offer with a shorter line, which is available, of course, in Geo also. Now, we continue our offer with something that is going to be more related with our pure and natural inspiration. We already talked in the previous video that the crew silhouette is really important, and with this material, we are trying to propose to our customers something really boyish, but with this kind of very natural and warm feeling. The name of the material is the ID, and it's a French middle cord with this kind of small ribs effect, really premium and qualitative. In terms of style, as I told you, it's really boyish, really sportswear, with this big oversized bomber, played with this kind of jogging pants, really sportswear inspirational. Very similar in this kind of silhouette sportswear, we have a new material which is called the Reto. The Reto is the same idea to present something, as I told you, more sportswear, more underground, and we play this kind of suit track, technical, climber, inspirational mood with a very warm and outwear material, which is kind of coat material. It's actually wool and poly, very resistant and thick. Three different styles, two styles presenting total look were by Manon with the climber and technical details. To complete the offer, we have here a oversized jacket, very fashion, trendy, a real strong crush piece in the collection with a very structured offer with all the line emphasized in the front. Now we go in, we have a material which is actually the same t-shirt of the raw, but much more thicker. Actually, it's 30% thicker and weighter in terms of weight. Is the Cara. The Cara is the same idea as I told you of the Reto, actually, but more pure and clean. We developed two different outwear style, one more boyish and more trendy were by Vero with the pocket and the zip, and one more sophisticated with this kind of bathrobe inspirational were by Alicia, which is something really iconic in our collection, very good for our loyal customer. Now, still in the pure, minimal inspiration, we present you the Ock, our shearling offer. This kind of product actually we launched in the previous season, and it was working quite well. And so we tried to rework the same material, which is quite trendy in this moment in the fashion industry, but something more pure with this kind of urban nomad inspiration, but more feminine and essential. Still, we are moving now a bit from the pure inspiration in something more technical with a new version of the outwear offer, which is related to the Joux that we propose in this spring-summer collection. This is actually a very visual and graphic 100% cotton offer, perfect again for the entry seasonal offer. It's a very structured and solid material with this kind of rounded visual, again, 70s geometric design. This kind of inspiration, we think that is a mix even with the British mood, because it's going to remind a bit the Queen Elizabeth style, this kind of item that she wore when she goes for the outdoor event, like the hunting activities. It's very interesting in terms of shape. We have quite various offers, a very classic bomber, the body warmer, very commercial, and then we have the long trench, very classic. The long coat, sorry. Thank you, girls. Now we go, I told you before, with the technical material, we have quite big offer. We are moving in our Party Berlin Techno Parade, starting by the Wiz. We're going to see several fabrics in this kind of inspiration. The Wiz, it's our very sportswear style with the total look here wear by Vero with the sweatshirt and the pants. And we're going to offer, to complete the offer, a jacket with a more outdoor offer. In terms of style, it's really interesting material actually, because it's a neoprene fabric, something really technical with this kind of visual effect in Ottoman stitch, really rounded. And to have more the sports detail, we line the materials with a mesh fabric, which is take inspiration by the basketball player uniform. Still in the techno parade and meshing something very 90s, very party, very boyish, we have the Losi. The Losi is our football player suit track with this kind of very strong and masculine appeal. It's a really visual material, quite shining, work with this kind of stoppers that is gonna give this kind of pattern which is very visual and relieved. In terms of detail, it's full of detail actually. We have all the contrasting, details in the front. The patch with the very visual La Maison is really masculine and it's really trendy. Kind of Sergio Tacchini style from the 90s. Then, still in the same mood, in the Techno Parade Berlin, we have something very strong and very visual with the opportunity to create sets and total look with a kind of technical kilted material, which is called the leash. The leash, as you can see, is going to present in this kind of acid fluo offer. We have the same kind of grid effect that we see before, but now more visible thanks to the print. It's a very lightful and very supple material. You see here where by Alicia, big coat, very technical, with a parka inspiration. And then here we have the big sweatshirt between sweatshirt and jacket top part, matched with the jogging pants for a very wintering festival total look. We are going to conclude the offer of the wrap and weft with our puffer jacket technical. This season, basically, we developed two main material in this kind of product that are open and developed in the same range of style. So basically, we have the first material, which is the neem. The neem is our opaque material, more in the inspiration in a kind of outdoor mood, more urban nomad with solid colors. And then we have something more graphic, again, more related to the Berlin Techno Parade, which is where by Vero, in this kind of color, actually we can really link still in the mountain mood, and it's quite more shiner and quite more visual. Water repellent, waterproof. So neem, water repellent, and coal, waterproof. Again, the coal. The coal is really our graphic, strong, technical fabric, very shining, very comfortable. Here you see, for the season, we're trying to work something more trendy, but at the same time, finally, thanks to the color range, something more feminine, which is going to have something that you cannot find in other brands. Different several style. In this case, you see a more cropped, feminine, and girlish style wear by Manon, and a more oversized, really kind of coat spirit jacket wear by Alicia. With the first look, we express the tailoring in its purest version with a tab in 100% virgin wool. The quality is the main protagonist and is twisted by the pitch tones and the softness of the roll in its sleeveless declination, haunting spirits. With the second look, everything is sweetened and nuanced. We use the same time the geometric and the feminine coats of the 70s in a technical look. The textures are mixed as much as the pastel colors. With the third outfit, a green palette contrasted with the Ligis neon, we play with the contrasted in style between fluidity and technicity.